As promised, it's time for that Ganesha talk. Hey man, it's the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com, columbianexchange.com, and of course, whiterabbitsite.com. Man, I can't never get those straight, and as many times as I said them. But today we are going to be reading from Shiva, Stories, Teachings from the Shiva Mahapurana. So let's just do a quick Google search. Mahapurana is a Sanskrit word that means teacher. One of the teachers. He was responsible for initiation of some sort. You know, this is Eastern mythology. I'm from the West. So I'm just here to learn, right? I hear a lot of talk about Ganesha. I've seen a lot of videos on Ganesha. I read a lot of books on Ganesha. And I still don't know who the fuck Ganesha is. I mean, I've even did the 108 mantras of Ganesha as well. I still haven't fully tapped in or understood the power or energy of Ganesha. So with this being said, I'm going to read from this book, Shiva by Vanamali. And I imagine that this might be 3-part series or 4-part series based upon the fact that there are like, I'll say 8 pages in this chapter. And if y'all know how I am, I can't just like, I'm going to go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. And once again, I'm doing this video for people such as myself. What does that mean? I don't fully comprehend Ganesha, and I'm okay. I don't feel like you can fully comprehend everything, right? And that gives us the opportunity to learn a little more about the thing that we don't know about. And another thing, Ganesha is known as the remover of obstacles. I'm not ashamed to say I'm dealing with some obstacles in my life at this present time. So it would be cool to invoke a energy to assist in removing the obstacles in my life. And I use this opportunity with my platform to just simply share and give people inspiration and hope that maybe they can potentially remove the obstacles in their life. So we're going to do this just like the Shiva and Parvati series, part 1 and 2, available now. And we're just going to go straight into Ganesha because this is the next chapter that comes forth after the cosmic couple, which we were talking about previously, come together, Parvati and Shiva. And Parvati represents the negative charge, and Shiva represents the positive masculine charge. And when these two charges come together, that activates Kundalini, or our spiritual intelligence. And our spiritual intelligence is a simple way of saying, I am living in accordance with my soul's will. And this is very important because 10 times out of 10, we're living in accordance with our parents' will. We are living in accordance with our relationship will. We are living in accordance with our children's will. We are sometimes living in accordance with our ego's will. So when we are living in accordance with our soul's will, this is what enacts the Kundalini or spiritual intelligence to say, no, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing that. And those who have eyes can see. Those who have ears can hear, of course. So let's begin. Chapter 15, Shiva. We are reading Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. Okay? And it is okay to have obstacles, right? This is part of the spiritual process. You need some miraculous shit to take place sometimes just to know that you have a spiritual aid in your life. So let's continue, or let's begin. I bow to the single-tusked Lord Ganesha, who has a huge body shining like gold and a large belly and beautiful eyes. One day, while Parvati was taking a bath, Shiva entered the premises without requesting permission. Let's just pause. Parvati was taking a bath. As esotericists, the first thing y'all should notice is the bath. I'm going to start quizzing y'all asses on this shit. Sooner or later, I'm going to be like, what do you notice? What is the esoteric symbol that we can find in the text? Because an esoteric symbol is universal in all mythology. If Zeus was swimming in a lake, we're talking about some form of an emotion. If Oshun was swimming in a river, we're talking about some form of an emotion, energy, emotion. If Yemaya is in the ocean, we're talking about some form of energy, emotion. So one day, Parvati was taking a bath. You do not take a bath in nothing but water. Water is symbols. When we deal with mythology, we're talking about symbols. It is not to be taken literally. The moment you start taking it literally, it makes literally no sense. Okay? Water is emotion. Water is energy, emotion. And you got to think. If your energy is not emotion, then your energy is stagnant. Energy cannot be stagnant. There's no such thing as stagnant energy. So if you're depressed, if you're not doing shit, you're dealing with a lack of energy. You're dealing with a lack of emotion. And emotion is the same thing that make you want to beat your baby daddy ass. Like just beat his ass. You be throwing left hook, right hook, uppercut, drop kick, DDT, stone cold stunner, doing all types of wrestling moves on his ass. You took your primal causation and chose destruction. Now understand that's a choice. You could have used that same energy to beat your baby daddy to plant a garden. Okay? So energy and motion is just what you are doing and why you are doing it. Very important, because just think about it. It's either energy and motion or no motion at all. And no motion at all is death. But emotion is not physical. You got to be real clear on this shit or you'll be confused. You don't die physically first. You die spiritually first, because you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you eat some shit, you watch some shit, you go to sleep, you wake up, you go to work, you eat some shit, you watch some shit, you wake up, go to work, you already dead. Your energy is not in motion. Your energy is in a sort of prison. So one day, Parvati was taking a bath. She is cleansing the impurities of the physical vessel. She's cleansing the impurities of her mind. Shiva entered the premises without requesting permission. So when you are cleansed of the emotions, when you are cleansed, so to be clear, you want to be cleansed over the specific negative emotions to enact a normal soul-like emotion that's just going to lead you down the right path in reference to your soul. Because emotion, as we understand it, is triggers, which are just a baby version of you that's making decisions, right? Imagine you a grown-up toddler, right, with verbalization and actions, but you keep doing dumb shit because you're a baby emotionally. So keep this in mind as we go through the reading. One day while Parvati was taking a bath, Shiva entered the premises without requesting information, because Shiva's going to enter the premises when you take a bath. Shit is going to work out once you cleanse your mind and emotions. In Divine Feminines, y'all got all these emotions from when y'all was 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 56, 40, 48, 49 rather, 63. All of these emotional expectations and emotional will wishes are driving you deeper and deeper into madness. It is not a prerequisite for some people, for some women, for some men. It's a prerequisite for all human beings to be an empty vessel. You can be an empty vessel and still have your accomplishments. You can still have your credentials. You can still have your bank account. You can still have your friends, family, inner circle, outer circle, back circle, flat chested, things of that nature. And man, I forgot about something. I have been extremely busy, but I'll get to that later. Let me continue. Parvati felt rather shy and gently rebuked Shiva for having entered without permission. Parvati felt rather shy and gently rebuked Shiva for having entered without permission. Soon after, her two friends, Jaya and Vijaya, came to her and urged her to keep an attendant who would be totally subservient to her until no one else. Soon after, her two friends, Jaya and Vijaya, came to her and urged her to keep an attendant who would be totally subservient to her and no one else. So, who is this particular energy and entity that you could say, her higher self and her guardian angel came to her and urged her as an attendant? You need somebody to help you. You need somebody to protect you. And so let's continue reading to see what they're talking about. In light of the previous incident, she decided that this was just what she should do. Moreover, she longed to have a child of her own. The next time she went for a bath, she smeared herself with turmeric and saffron powder and then scraped it all off of her body into a ball. And she shaped the ball into the form of a little boy and breathed life into it. What are they talking about here? Let's go back to the beginning. Because at this particular point in time in history, it's come to my attention that they're talking about the primal universe before physical creation. Shiva and Parvati represent the cosmic couple. They represent divine masculine and divine feminine energy, meaning that these are spiritual concepts. And I need you to hold on to this. If you with me, type in spiritual concepts in the chat, meaning that they don't have no body, they don't have no legs, they don't have no titties, they don't have no ass, they don't have no penis, they don't have no vagina. They are pure primal spiritual concepts, like a concept of, a new car or something like that. It haven't fully come to the market yet, but we just thinking about it. Maybe a car can fly, maybe a car can ride on water. It's a concept. It's not real, but it can happen, right? So Shiva and Parvati are spiritual energy, spiritual concepts, and Parvati feels at a certain point that her energy is just as powerful as Shiva's energy. And I need y'all to understand this. Shiva feels like his energy is more powerful than Parvati's energy, because positive charge because of the things that it needs to do to become positive charge is the greatest shit in the world. Negative charge thinks the things that it has to do to become the person that it has to do becomes the greatest thing in the world. Stay with me. A woman have a baby. She just did the greatest shit that you can't do as a nigga. You need to bow to her because she have a baby. Stay with me. A nigga work 2 jobs, lift weights, goddamn lift more weights, right? Goddamn cut hair in the basement, drive a Charger, right? So what? You can't cut hair in the basement. You can't lift these weights. Yeah, you can't help that you have a baby. I'm working 2 jobs. So the negative is doing some shit that the positive can't do, and the positive is doing some shit that the negative can't do. And it would be so fucking perfect if the negative can say, man, I compliment you perfectly. And the positive say, man, I compliment you perfectly. Let's come together, right? Perfect. Grandma, grandpa, great grandma, great grandpa. Us, hell no. The niggas want to be the bitches and the bitches want to be the niggas. Period, point blank. Niggas is out here wearing nail polish. Girls is out here driving Chargers. And I know I'm not lying. So we don't even fucking get it or can even wrap our minds around what possibly could be the truth. Right? So let's just think about this. Parvati and Shiva, spiritual energy. Right? Soon after, her 2 friends, Jaya and Vijaya, they come to her and say, you need an attendant. Whoever Jaya and Vijaya is, you can understand how your girlfriend and her friends is just itching to fuck some shit up, right? You never just be chilling with your girl and say, you know who should come over and chill with us? Jaya and Vijaya ass. Tell their ass to come over here. Nope, they just bring their ass over here. Talk about, ooh, you got Hennessy? Ooh, who gonna get the chicken wings? Like, shit. They low key, high key, trying to turn your girl into a hoe. Talking about, I know you coming down to Miami with us, Charmaine. Jermaine don't matter. Jermaine don't mind if you come to Miami with us. Like, She need to get rid of Vaya and Vijaya. Like, you bringing these hoes around, me and you happy for real. We got our little disagreements, but every time you say something, right, you tell her something like, yeah, he said that I need to, like, help him out. And Jaya, what the fuck Jaya and Vijaya gonna say? Girl, you don't need to do nothing for that nigga. He need to be worshiping you. You can have a baby. He can't have a baby. Like, we are a woman. And then never once did Jaya and Vijaya say, you know what? That nigga do have a point, though. You need to listen to your man. Like, you really need to listen to your man and respect your man. All this to say, right? They come talking to Parvati like, you need an attendant, right? So boom, right? This what she do. She smears herself, right, with turmeric and saffron powder, and then scrapes it all off her body into a ball. And she shaped the ball into the form of a little boy and breathed life into it. Okay, she is talking about the creation of humankind. So far, when Parvati, the cosmic negative polarity, have the ability, anything negative, anything unseen, such as spirit, is all negative, is all feminine. She creates the ball off of her body. If you want to cross-reference or correspondence to this story, it's the Gnostic story. It's the Babylonian story. The Gnostic have Sophia. Babylonians have Tiamat, right? Gnostics would predate the Christians, right? Predate the Bible. They take Sophia and build the earth with her blood and create humans from her blood. Now, this story is basically the same story. I'm bringing these examples up because when you study mythology, you're going to waste a lot of time thinking that this book is saying something different from that book and that book is saying different to a certain degree. But the actual reality is just simply the story for which we are living in. The physical, the blood, the breath, the body, the air, it all represents negative charge and negative polarity. It all represents the Divine Mother, but the Divine Mother is us. She just dead. And we'll explain it if we keep reading into this story. She dead as far as we don't recognize who we are. We think that we are within the physical cycles of life and death. We are actually outside of life and death. The child was big and handsome, filled with strength and valor. She named him Vinayaka, the leader, and gave him clothes and ornaments, and said, "You are my son. From now on, you will also be my bodyguard." The boy was very happy to hear this and asked his mother to command him. She told him that his first job would be to guard her door while she took her bath and wanted to be alone in her apartment. If you read throughout this book, Parvati's ass always taking a bath, right? And whenever I was dealing with women, I would always, tell them to take a bath, right? And because when I first met them, they was taking bird baths, right? They would be like, "Oh, Kyrie coming over, let me go watch my coochie in the sink and shit." Because you know how he get down, things of that nature. And I said, "You can take a bath, right?" They like, "No, I don't like taking baths because I be getting in the dirty water and I don't like that." And I'm like, "When the last time you took a bath?" "Since I was a little kid, I just take showers every day." And I'm like, "Yo, estrogen levels is so fucked up. Your estrogen levels is so fucked up. You need to sit your ass in that water. Sit in that water, okay? And balance out that homeostasis. Get that estrogen in order. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, sometimes, like, you gotta just, go over your mama house, Sometimes you gotta go over your auntie house or your friend's house or your cousin house because they got a nice bathtub. Do what you gotta do, right? Because at the end of the day, you want balanced hormones. Because balanced hormones give you an opportunity to interface with the divine. Fucked up hormones, you kind of fucked up before you start. You don't feel it. You don't understand it. And man, oh man, dealing with women who just have a negative disposition, I'm telling you, you can talk to you blue in the face. You can show them all the literature, give them all the lectures, all the documentaries. If they don't give a fuck about what you saying, bro, they don't give a fuck about what you saying. So you feel like that's my client, that's my whatever. If the hormones is thrown off, the hormones is thrown off. What's the best thing to balance the hormones? Get your ass in that water. Get in that water. She also presented him with the staff to ward off the intruders. The next day, and this is the same story from the Bible, right? Where God kicked out Adam and Eve, right? If you would notice, the cherubium, he have a flaming sword, and he guard the door to the paradise, the Garden of Eden, right? And why would Adam and Eve connect to this story? Because the Bible is going to tell you it. The Quran going to tell you it. Judaism going to tell you it. Hindu going to tell you it. It's just the truth. Because why would we know the fucking truth? Because the truth is in our DNA. The truth, we've experienced all of this shit. Not in this lifetime, of course. But how old is our DNA? How long is your fucking DNA? How long is your DNA? How long is your DNA? How ancient is your DNA? No, hold on. Pause. Wait a second. You're the special motherfucker who don't got DNA. You got a hard break on life because your mama wasn't the best mama and your daddy wasn't the best daddy and your first baby daddy wasn't shit and your first baby mama wasn't shit. So this gives you an excuse to feel bad about yourself. So much so that we can have a real scientific, biological, chemistry conversation on the cellular makeup of you, and then be like, oh, so that means I'm billions, maybe trillions of years old in this present moment? Yes. That means A simple story like Ganesha would be child's play to understand. Yes. If I don't understand who I am, I just won't understand what the fuck anything is around me. Yes. Why? Because I'm so caught up in the ego, and the ego is possessed with fucking your life up. The ego is possessed with making you feel special or unspecial, just depending on the fucking day. One day you feel special, the next day you feel unspecial, and irregardless to both, it's all egoic. Once you understand that you have DNA, every living organism has DNA. You just gotta understand the building blocks of reality, and then it fucking stops at the cells. Think about that. Cells are small ass structures that you can pull a plant next to you. A fucking plant. Pull that plant out and say, me and this plant is made of the fucking same DNA, but with minor fucking alterations. Like 99.7% the same, 0.3% alteration will create a fucking house plant, and the rest will create a fucking human being. Yeah, the plant not as complex as us, but yet and still is still DNA. DNA is how shit is made through proteins, a synthetic process for which cells create themselves. You create yourself. Create yourself for so fucking long that you done forgot who the fuck you are. Emphatically, nigga. Like passionately, like desperately forgot who you are. Like without a shadow of a doubt forgot who you are. Right? Like no clue. Not even a smidge. You still calling people, hi, my name's Charmaine. Nice to meet you. Yes, I'm Executive Vice President Charmaine Johnson. Yep, you want me to spell it for you? It's not spelled like, it's CHRMAYNE. Yes, my daddy named Jermaine. They called him Maine. Big Maine? Yeah. He got his son named Lil Maine. Big Maine and Lil Maine. That's my daddy and my brother. Yep, we grew up on the west side. Oh, yeah, I know him. Yep, we grew up together. Yep, graduated same year. Tell them I said hi. How you doing? They still together? I knew they'd be still together. I knew it. I knew they'd be still together. Charmaine. Spell it right. Knowing damn well that ain't who you are. Forgot everything. Be out here really thinking like, man, I need to call my brother, see how you doing. Type shit. So let's continue because I feel like I'm about to end this. I got 2 minutes. The next day, when she went for her bath, she stayed taking baths. She stationed a boy outside and told him that no one should be allowed to enter. Soon after it happened that Lord Shiva came on because at a certain point, right, it's like this shit is happening and Shiva come through like, hey, what's happening here? Lord Shiva comes on the scene and tries to enter, and the boy blocked him so audaciously and asked him sternly, who are you? Who gave you permission to stop me from entering my wife's apartment? Now listen to this shit. I feel like I gotta end, but this is the part one. Because you might think that this is happening in 5000 BC. You might think that this is ancient history, ancient mythology. I'm here to tell you today that this is happening right now in this moment. Shiva could not believe that a small boy could be so audacious and ask him sternly. What is this talking about? At this point, this small boy is the ego. And Shiva is our higher self. And the small boy ego is blocking out our higher self, our positive charge. Think how crazy that is. Think how crazy pervasive your ego shadow complex is. All of the things you want, all of the things you desire, all of the things you feel, all the things you think, none of it is divine. None of it comes from self. None of it comes from the higher source. Why? Because intuition and action is like in utero. It's like right there. Then when it's over, you can't say, well, I did that spiritual shit 2 minutes ago, nigga. Give me a pass. I just gave a homeless person $5. You ain't never heard a nigga say no shit like that because we intuitively know that that's not some shit that we can say. I just helped the old lady cross the street. You know I'm a good person. But motherfucker be telling you, well, you late on your bills. Come on, man. You know me, man. You know me, right? Our ego and our emotions are keeping us from blocking our higher self. So when Lord Shiva comes on the scene, the small boy be so audacious and stops him sternly. You not getting in here. The ego like, you not getting in here. This motherfucker like, do you know that this is a bodhisattva, an ascended master? No, this is just Charmaine from up the street. Charmaine. No, this is an ascended master. This is Charmaine. She gotta fucking get over her baby daddy. You know that she is a world-renowned psychic and healer. No, she a CNA. She a CNA. She make $13 an hour and she's struggling real bad and she could really need some help. You know she is one of the wealthiest, most signified deities in the whole entire universe and beyond. No, she is not. She really ain't shit for real. And she always down on herself. The boy blocked him with his staff. Shiva could not believe that a small boy could be so audacious, right? The symbology of this is crazy. The small boy could be so audacious and asked him sternly, who are you? And who gave you permission to stop me from entering my wife's apartment? The boy replied, sir, my mother has taken a bath and she has kept me here and asked me to keep out all intruders. Shiva replied, do you not know me? I'm Shiva and Parvati is my wife. Now let me pass. The boy politely refused and barred the way once again. At first, Shiva was amused by this and tried to move the staff and enter, but the boy hit him with the stick. Also loaded. Anyways, this was too much. Shiva controlled his temper and went back to his apartment, right? Because the negative energy can travel down. Shumshumi, Nada, and all of those particular energies. Energy travels down. Energy travels up the spinal cord. Right? So at a certain point, you don't even know Spirit giving you the message right now. Right? But you like, hit him with the stick. Hit him with the stick. You not letting God in. The ego not letting God in. And this was too much. So the energy come down, get blocked at a particular chakra, go back up, go back into the higher self, come back down, constantly being blocked. Some people will say, man, I don't never have contact with my spirit. I don't never feel like I'm in tune with self. I don't even know what it feel like to be psychic or to feel that hear that inner voice or hear that quiet. I don't never feel that. Right? And I'm like, well, you know, the little boy with the sword, keep hitting him with his stick. So it'd be like, I never experienced that. And what I'm trying to tell you is that, how can you not experience it? How can you not experience it? That's the proper mindset. You can only listen. At a cellular level, you are perfect. And the way that you eat, and the way that you think, and the way that you live, the way that you have sex, you can only fuck up a system that was perfect. So I'm going to end with that, right? And we're going to continue. I said this might be 2, 3, 4 parts. I don't know. We'll do a quick review in the next video, and we'll just get right back into this Ganesha shit. At this point, he's not even Ganesha yet. So we say Ganesha is the obstacle remover, but earlier in his life, earlier in his development, he was the obstacle himself. So this is another lesson. This is another jewel, right? What did you do to put yourself in the position that you in to even, like, you know how you be in a maze? Like, what steps did you take to get you to where you at this part of the maze, right? And essentially, you got to backtrack, get to a point where you said, it's like, go left or go right, and you went left, ended up at an obstacle. Now you got to backtrack and go right, right? So this is cool, right? It's going to be a very spiritual conversation. So hold on to your pussies, you understand? And we're going to get into this thing. And I'll talk to y'all on the flip side. Peace.